The OKPreps.com signing day special. I'm your host for the evening, Michael Knight, also the managing director of the OK Preps Network. I'm now joined in our studio by Sepulpa running back as well as Louisville signee Day Williams. Day, first off, thank you for coming out tonight, and congratulations on signing with Louisville.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Now, walk me through the signing day process, because it's always so interesting because it's obviously a big day for high school athletes across the state of Oklahoma, not only Oklahoma but as well as the country. What was your signing day like today?
Man, it was great. It was a lot of rush, really exciting. Of course, this being my first one, my only one. It was a lot of different things. I signed early in the morning, sent in my letter of intent. Of course, the fax machine broke down, so there's that. So we went through some things, but we got it in, and it was just a lot of enjoyment, a lot of happiness with me and the coaching staff.
I always like to poke fun at one deal with signing day, and that's the fax machine, because it's literally the only day in the year that fax machines actually matter. I mean, everybody just scans their stuff, emails it, whatever they need to do. It's like the fax machine has been extinct for almost a decade, except for National Signing Day. Then it's the fax machine's day, their only day of the year. What was it like when you found out that the fax machine broke down? What was your first thought? Like, oh my gosh, that's how my college career is going to start?
First I was like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should go find something else to do. But we sat around, we waited a little bit, and then we got it to work. So thank God.
Yeah. And let me talk to you about a couple things first before we get into Louisville. We're also going to talk about Garrick McGee, a guy who spent a lot of time here in Oklahoma. Now he's one of the coaches at Louisville, still recruiting Oklahoma strong. Let's talk about your career at Sepulpa. At what point in your career did you figure out, man, I got a really a legitimate shot to play college football?
Probably whenever Coach Corbin came in as the new head coach, and he started really talking to me about that he really thinks that I can go to the next level. Is really whenever I kind of thought maybe I can really do something with this. And then whenever the letters started rolling in and the calls, and then of course my first offer from Navy came in was whenever I really realized that I can do something.
How big has he been as far as your development? Because we knew about him when he came over from Broken Arrow, obviously a solid assistant coach, but you never know how he's going to be in his first year as a head coach. How was he this year for you?
Huge. He really helped me tremendously with the whole recruiting process. He's really the main reason why it took off for me. The things that he did behind the books, everything that he did for me, I got to give it up to him for it. And then just making me into a better person, a better running back.
Now let's talk about SMU first, because you committed to them last summer. I remember talking to you about the commitment to SMU on our show on Saturday mornings. And then earlier in January, you decided to go ahead and decommit. And I talked to you after that as well. And after you committed to Louisville, you had your mind made up already on Louisville when you decommitted from SMU, although there was some time in between. Why did you not just go from one school to the other? Why did you let a couple days pass?
Well, I wanted to wait to make sure. Whenever I committed to SMU, I committed with different circumstances, thinking about my future, and I didn't really know for sure if that's really what I wanted to do whenever I jumped into it. So whenever I really thought about Louisville as another option, I wanted to wait and make sure for a fact that's where I wanted to be.
It's actually interesting because I looked at SMU's class that they signed, all Texans. 25 guys they signed, all from the state of Texas. So we always hear about how Texas plays better high school football. I don't necessarily agree. They definitely have more kids. They definitely have more schools. But, as far as the high level of high school football, I think we can match them step for step. And let me ask you this, Day, because you do ahead and commit to Louisville. You signed with the Cardinals today. Louisville hasn't had the most success in Oklahoma, but Garrick McGee is starting to make some inroads with getting kids in Oklahoma to take Louisville seriously, because, again, this is a school that before he joined Bobby Petrino on the staff, we never saw Louisville in the state of Oklahoma recruiting our kids. How big was he in your recruitment?
Huge. Just because he's a hometown guy, he really understands how I feel. And being so far away from home, I would need somebody like that to really take me over. And then the fact that he really saw Oklahoma as a place, he didn't really just skip over us and go to Texas. So him taking the time to come to Oklahoma to recruit me meant a lot.
Now let's talk about something I saw you tweeted out earlier today. We have to talk about it. Hey, I'm fine with it, so we can have the conversation. The rankings, the 2016 rankings. you don't necessarily agree where you're ranked by us in the 2016 rankings. We had him at 29. Look, the 2016 class is stacked. That's
You're
all.
right.
That's all I have to say. Where do you think you should be?
I mean, first of all, I'm glad that I'm at least ranked. That means something. But I was thinking, at least top 15, something like that. I was thinking I could at least be. I was a little shocked that I was 29.
You know what you'd have to do, though, right? You'd have to talk to each one of those guys between 15 and 29 and be like, yo, I'm better than you. I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I'm better. There's always someone upset when you do rankings, but I do appreciate the kind words about being glad you were ranked. Look, 2016, it's been a heck of a class in Oklahoma.
Definitely. I think this is a class that people are really looking at as, one of the best classes in the country. I think this is a class that really can compare to the classes in Texas and different places around the country. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
When all the dust settles, I'll get the final numbers. There's still a couple prospects that might end up at the Division I level, but I'm going to tell you off the top of my head, I think there's at least 40 guys going to the D1 level, maybe getting close to 50 at this point with both full scholarship guys as well as preferred walk-ons. So we'll have those final numbers later on OKPreps, but 2016 definitely a special class going forward at Louisville. What do you expect for your college career? Do you expect to go in and compete immediately, or is it a situation where you maybe redshirt your first year? What's the first year for you at Louisville going to be like?
I'm expecting to come in and compete. They told me that I can come in and if I work and put in the work, that I can come in and play as a true freshman. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not the guy that just wants to come in and be a part of. So I want to be able to compete and help, lead them to a national championship. So that's what I plan on doing.
And if you had to compare yourself to running back, whether it's at the college level or in the NFL, obviously, talent-wise may not be the same, but your style of running at the running back position, who would it be and why?
Probably Derrick Henry or an Adrian Peterson, one of those two. This because the size, we're the same kind of size. And then the way they run really aggressively. They like to be a punishing running back. So if you tackle them, you're going to feel it, and you're going to know that you probably don't want to do that again. And a running back that can really go and get better as the game progresses. And I think that's who I compare with.
And let me get you out of here on this because I saw you tweet this out after you committed to Louisville. It was a quote saying, they said I didn't have D1 speed. When you hear people say things like that about you, how much does that drive you?
Oh, so much. I think that's the main reason I was able to do what I did, because if it wasn't for them, then I would have thought too highly of myself probably, and I wouldn't have really put in the work. So whenever I heard that in the offseason, I was really able to go and put in the work to get where I thought I needed to be.
Day, congratulations on the special occasion, signing with Louisville, and thanks so much for coming out and talking about it. He's Day Williams, Sapulpa running back, now future Louisville running back. He's joining Garrick McGee in Louisville, ACC country. We'll see how you guys do. A little Oklahoma flavor there in Mayville. For Day Williams, I'm Michael Knight. We got a couple more guests coming up here in hour number one. A Booker T. Washington flavor. We're going to talk with Justice Hill as well as Kyle Mayberry, and we got plenty of guests in hour number two. Stick with us right here. It's our OKPreps Signing Day special on your home for National Signing Day in Oklahoma, OKPreps.com.